The fact that he's taken over DC in the first place, invoking emergency powers, that basically is what he wants to do his entire presidency. And frankly, the only emergency that we've had is the fact that he somehow made it back into the White House. That is how he decided that he was going to somehow initiate the Enemy Aliens Act. It's how he decided that he was going to go about taking over DC. It's how he decided he was going to invade the city of Los Angeles. It is time for us to get back to actual democracy, which is not an emergency, not to mention the tariffs. He's also invoked emergency powers during the tariffs. And the reality is that he is the only one that is creating the crisis.
Jasmine Crockett, again, is missing a point. Donald Trump got back in the White House because the American people voted him in. He won the popular vote and the electoral vote. He didn't just go in there and force his way into the White House. As for you calling it invasion on DC, people just don't feel safe. So as president, he's saying, hey, if you're not going to make the people safe, then I'll have to do it.
Well, if there is a vote on that, do you believe that some of your Democratic colleagues would say, well, I might vote for this given the crime numbers in DC, while not as bad as the president says they are not great, and that, Democrats fear maybe looking soft on crime if they voted against something like that?
I don't think so. I mean, we'll see. Obviously, we're on recess, and so I've not had an opportunity to speak with members about this, but truly, this cannot be coming from the party of small government. I think we may even end up with some Republicans that will vote with us, because there is nothing that looks like big government, that looks more like big government than what he's decided to do.
So what Jasmine basically saying is, if they have to vote on this crime bill act, there's not one Democrat that's going to vote for it, making the American people safe. And she also saying that some of the Republicans are going to go with Democrats on this. There's no way in hell Republicans are going to vote against making the American people safe.
I don't see that happening. I mean, the reality is that he doesn't want for any city or state that is controlled by a Democrat to be controlled by them. Then he finds an exception to decide to just do whatever he wants to do. And in any other scenario, it's a matter of, small government.
What Jasmine doesn't understand is he has the authority to do this in DC. He's only going to be trying this for 30 days to see if it makes it better. Why not give him a chance to see? American people are going to feel safer seeing more police around the neighborhoods than less police. It's only 30 days and we'll see what happens, Jasmine.
Yeah, and I think there's some questions of politically, how Democrats are handling this. The president was critical of that today. But can I ask you on the other thing we've been talking about with you is this redistricting fight that's been playing out in your home state of Texas. And we're hearing from sources tonight that Texas Democrats are considering returning to the state to end the standoff that's been playing out over this. Do you believe that they should?
It's not a matter if they believe that they should. They ain't got no choice. They have to return to Texas for this vote, period.
Oh, I absolutely don't. I think that there may be some kind of confusion around reporting. I've not talked to too many members just yet, but I did call a couple of them. I think that it's my understanding that the speaker announced maybe on the he would end up ending the session, the special session, early. And so it wasn't supposed to end until the 19th. As of now, it's my understanding that if somehow they are not back in the chamber by Friday, then he plans to go ahead and end this special session by Friday. And I think that right now they're trying to figure out what exactly are we going to do if for some reason he prematurely ends this session. What is our next step?
Okay, so your understanding is not that they're just coming back and prepared to just end the standoff overall.
No. And just so that the American public understands, this bill did pass through the Senate in Texas. We saw all but 2 of the Texas state senators walk off the floor. If all of them had walked off, that was enough to break quorum. It only takes 11 in the Senate. And so 2 stayed back. They decided to vote no. But ultimately, if you start a new session, then you don't just get to say, well, the Senate passed the bill. They have to start all over. It still has to make it through both chambers during the same session. So we will see what happens. but I don't see them going back onto the floor before the end of this session.
I think she gave word salad there. But what I'm thinking she's saying is the bill is going to pass whether they show up or not show up, from my understanding. So that's what I'm thinking she was saying.
Well, and that session was called by the governor, Greg Abbott, and he responded to your accusation that Republicans, as you said, are trying to dilute the voting power of Black, Hispanic, and Asian voters in Texas. I want you to listen to what Governor Abbott said.
It would not be a day that ends with the letter Y if Jasmine Crockett didn't say something racist. The problem that Democrats have in the state of Texas is Hispanics, Black voters, and other voters, they have learned now that the ideas that Democrats stand for are contrary to the ideas that the Hispanic community and Black community stand for.
What's your response to the governor?
He doesn't even believe the words that are coming out of his own mouth.
Oh, he believes it. And so does the American people. They believe that anytime you talk, Jasmine, it's only about race and that you hate Donald Trump. So, yeah, he believes it.
Nor does the Department of Justice. They decided to send a letter that specifically wanted to focus in on 4 minority districts. They wanted to focus in on Mark Vesey. They wanted to focus in on the seat that was represented by the late Sylvester Turner. They wanted to focus on Al Green, and they wanted to focus on Sylvia Garcia. So, and they are the ones that invoked race. To be clear, I've been engaged in litigation with the state of Texas since 2021 over the current maps, alleging that they were already in violation of Section 2, and the state's position for the last 4 years is that these maps have been race neutral. And all of a sudden, they get a letter from the Department of Justice that says, no, your maps are so racially inflamed, fix it. And now somehow they are looking to get rid of Mark Vesey's district. They are looking to get rid of Al Green's district. We only have a total of 4 districts that have somehow managed to elect Black people, and somehow 2 out of 4 are disappearing. So this isn't about whether or not Black people or Latinos are now skewing Republican. What it's about is making sure that Black folk and Latinos do not have a say-so. Because what he's not talking about is the fact that when 95% of this state was grown because of people of color, we ended up with 2 new seats in the state of Texas, yet we did not get any people of color seats. We got 2 new Anglo-majority seats. Now they're deciding, let's add another 2 Anglo-majority seats. So in the past 4 years, they have somehow figured out that while we added 4 million people and they were basically people of color, they ended up with 4 new majority Anglo seats.
Jasmine Crockett says it's not about race. And what does she do? She go on a rant for over 2 minutes about it being about race. Texas is a red state. You can deny it or not. That's just the true nature of it. All right, I'm out. Just let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow God, not culture.